There is one camp which truly recognizes that, there's a term somebody used in one consulting presentation, the attack of the ants. So these are these, new age brands which are continuously chipping away at the larger players until they start really feeling the pain. And I think several large companies are starting to see that phenomenon. I think it got a little masked and continues to be one of the areas where, because the rural economy is growing so fast and because they still have the modes of distribution and reach which the larger, smaller companies don't have, they are not feeling that pain, because at the top they keep losing share and they keep gaining the business at the lower end of the spectrum. So it's an interesting paradigm. There is this desperation to be connected to what is happening in the startup world. Interestingly, our fund, which is a small fund, we have investment from Unilever in the fund, from ITC, from Imami, from Wipro, from Marico. Any consumer company who is, concerned about what's happening, the first port of call is, can we work with people who are in the space, who can at least teach us or show us what's going on. Second thing is, they are developing these cells or these units within their companies to try and address this. I think with very limited success, to be honest, because you get just lost in the system. And the third thing which is happening globally, and India is now starting to show very significant traction on that, is significant either investment or acquisition interest of the startup world, so that you can at least try and take on businesses which can be the Dollar Shave Club as a classic example in the US context, and now Beardo, Marico, and so many such examples. So I think right now it is a very dynamic environment where nobody really has all the answers. Everybody is trying to figure it out, and some of them are saying, it doesn't concern me, I am growing, I have my rural program in place, and I will see how it shapes up.
Even within the microcosm of just the new age business, we've just discussed how each of them like a personalized experience, how it's a customer who's very fickle in terms of taste. So any of these businesses when starting, they, as long as they've figured out the specific customer demand, they have certain space to grow. Beyond that, you have the regulatory provisions coming in, you have your competitive space getting wider. So what in economic terms we call supernormal profits kind of getting squeezed out. So it's natural for a product and an economic cycle to go through that phase where your supernormal profits are then squeezed, your profit margins get. We've seen that happening in airlines, we've seen that happening in FMCG. So that life cycle, and given that if you're not a big brand, you probably don't have deeper pockets to kind of ride through the waves, and you automatically kind of hit that wall, maybe sometimes too soon, or maybe if you are smart enough to kind of front lead this wave, a little longer shelf life. But how much longer is the shelf life, and where is the tipping point? That's probably a constant question for a business like this that I would be looking at.
Earlier in 2012-13, when we used to ask for meetings with one of these larger corporates or something, it was almost like either they're doing a favor to us by meeting us, or we have to go somewhere, or it was just very difficult. But now they actually want to meet us to figure out what's happening. That is one. Second is, from a very selfish perspective, what we are seeing is that earlier they used to think that they can do anything by themselves. So if you go and pitch a new idea to them or something like that, they say, okay, big deal, but I'll hire 10 people and do it myself, I've got a lot of money. That has changed in a big way. We are seeing that they now realize that really can't do everything by themselves, and these young companies are the ones who can actually move things faster and do things better, and that is leading to good exit options for us. So in the last, and that's why I said on a selfish note, but in the last 2 quarters, we've actually had 2 successful exits to traditional companies, and that basically shows that now they are believing that you just can't create things yourself. You actually need to acquire companies or startups, and this is great for the industry.
My immediate comparison is China, but you look at what is substantially different. Why is their minimum wages today 5x of India, which is why India is gaining this sort of threshold into exports, right, or manufacturing for that matter. It's genuinely only because of 2 big aspects. One is lack of infrastructure and lack of logistics.